who she is to her core.
You stole my wedding country and my wedding performer.
Hey, what's up you guys, it's me Luke and welcome back to another video, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I post commentary and reaction videos on movies, TV shows, and sometimes reality TV. Like today, I have been reacting to the Kardashians, the new reality show on Hulu that they have. Ever since it first came out, I give my commentary on the episodes. If you want to catch up on them, I'll link the playlist down below. If you missed my last video, in that video we react to the episodes where the Kim and Kourtney Dolce and Gabbana fashion show wedding extravaganza situation begins. But today's video, we will be reacting to season 3, episode 6, titled The Tension is Brewing, and episode 7, titled Deeper Than Dolce. So it looks like we're gonna wrap up this feud. But if you're also unaware, I have a Patreon where I post lots of different bonus content. When it comes to these Kardashian videos, I post the full reaction and commentary for each episode, and then I, post the more condensed versions here on YouTube. So if you want to check those out, click the link in the description. And yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get into it because I'm about to dive in to the Kardashians and their petty little drama. AirPods are already in.
Today we are with Kim and we're getting her driving license picture ready.
Oh my god, look at this man's arms. Damn. Moving on.
But it's a big deal because you have to live with it for a long time.
This is the most important photo you'll ever take in your life.
You know what? I was about to make a joke about that, but she's kind of not wrong, right? Because your passport, you only really see that picture when you're traveling, and not everyone travels that much. But your ID, especially if you like to go clubbing, you gotta pop that out. If you look young and you get carded at the bottle store, which is starting to not happen to me anymore, which I'm a little bit bothered by. I'm like, guys, we're not gonna card me. What's happening here?
I'm turning 42. My hopes for 42-year-old Kim is that I really just want to have fun. I want peace. I want calmness. I want good vibes.
Well,
yeah.
That was a really heavy pause. The silence was loud in that moment because she's in the middle of a beef. She's currently cooking up a brisket.
You guys, should I add West or no?
Why would you add West? You're divorced, Kim.
4.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
I never got to see my photo.
Can we try again?
Maybe can you come out a bit more? So it's not so cropped?
Not so, yeah.
Not so cropped. Aren't you supposed to have it start and end at a certain point? Are they really, because of her celebrity status, able to manipulate the way that these photos are normally done? That's crazy.
Yeah, is there any way to save this, do another, and have them side by side?
No. Can you just airdrop it to us really quickly?
Oh, you guys, what are you gonna face tune her freaking ID picture? This is crazy.
I think you could do better.
Guys, it's not a photo shoot.
We trusted our instincts. First is the worst, second is the best. That's why I'm the second child.
You're kidding. She's just throwing shade left, right, and center. God, why are they all wearing black spandex?
Has our girl spoken to Kim yet?
No. And that's sort of why I'm here.
Again with the black. Is there a funeral, or are they just mourning the lack of their family relationship?
You have to just talk to Kim already, just to move these things along in life.
Yeah, they're just letting it fester and ferment and bubble, and you're gonna get angry every day the longer you leave it. That's why I say never sweep things under the rug. Just talk about it, air it out.
I feel like I can move on and be no one can kill your vibe.
I believe you can in that way.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can coexist with her. And I don't think it's healthy for you, but also your guys' relationship.
Alrighty guys, before we get into this shitty mess, I just want to let you know that your shit does not need to be a mess. Thanks to today's sponsor, Colon Broom. Was that a good segue? So Colon Broom is a high fiber dietary supplement that uses the highest quality ingredients to support your gut and microbiome health. The main component of it is psyllium husk, which is a bulk forming soluble fiber that can soften your stool and promote regular bowel movements, helping you gently flush the waste from your gut, therefore leaving you feeling lighter and more comfortable. And I know that pooping can be considered a taboo topic, but I really don't think it should be because literally all of us, even the Kardashians, do it. And I, for one, as someone who has IBS and has always had digestive problems my whole life, place a lot of importance on my visits to the toilet. I've been using it for the past month, and not only has it helped keep me regular, it's helped reduce bloating or digestive pain, it's saved me money on toilet paper, making going to the bathroom just a whole lot quicker and easier. It's something I look forward to, which makes makes me remember to take it every day because it actually tastes good. It's a strawberry flavor. It is no sugars, no GMOs, gluten-free, vegan, all the good stuff. So I think I've shared quite a few of the benefits of Colin Broom, of which there are many more, and it is just a great option for any of you looking to improve your gut health. And Colin Broom is actually having a really huge limited sale at the moment where you can score a 6-month supply of Colin Broom for 56% off. And if you click the link in my description and use my code Luke10, you can get an additional 10% off your whole order. Honestly, it's amazing. Catch this deal while you can. Click the link in the description. It won't last long. Thank you, Colin Broom, for sponsoring this video, and let's dive on in to this sister shitstorm.
I don't think it's healthy for you, but also your guys' relationship.
Yeah, so what Kourtney's saying is she's like, oh, I'm good, like, I'm not gonna vibe, I'm just gonna keep going on with my life. But then, yeah, with Kourtney, fuck, why do I always get their names mixed up? Because they all start with the K. Chloe is saying is like, yeah, but then what are you gonna do when, you know, there's family functions or places where you have to see Kim? Like, you're just gonna ignore her? Like, you may be cool going on with your life, but mend your relationship with your sister. Like, unless you're gonna cut a family member off, it's really hard to have a weird situation going on that you just don't talk about. It's gonna make, like, family meetups and all that kind of stuff really awkward. So it's not a very mature approach. But, you know, maturity is something a lot of the Kardashian Jenners are lacking in, if I do say so myself.
If she felt bad, don't you think she would reach out?
To my understanding, she's tried to talk to you, but you haven't been ready to talk.
Oh.
0% true.
0% true.
It's so hard because, like, it's like Chinese whispers, like, you don't get to really see the full picture, but, like, because in the beginning of the season, Kim was expressing so much concern to Chris about doing this with Kourtney. So did she just never speak to her about it? Because then she also says that she did give her a heads up. But then Kourtney's like, oh no, but she didn't say what was going to happen is actually what was going to happen. So it wasn't, like, she wasn't honest. It's just like, so, are you guys confused? I don't know who to believe in the situation.
Comes from an old thing of us being 18 months apart.
The day she's been born, I feel like
just
this has been brewing.
having like a more competitive like nature as sisters.
No offense to Kourtney, but I just think she should drop that. Because Kim is clearly winning if you're looking at the career side of things, you know? If you want to look at it that way, she could be winning in her personal life side of things. Like, not to get nasty, but like Kim just had a divorce to a very messy person. Kourtney just got married to a great person. She's pregnant, like she's thriving, you know what I mean? So not everyone needs to excel in the same areas of life. And then even competing with your siblings is just a recipe for disaster to begin with. But why even compete with someone when there's no chance of you winning if we're talking career? I don't know. I feel like it's stupid. But then, I don't know, some people need competition to drive them to work harder. It's confusing. I want to see an episode where we have some group therapy. I would love that.
The one time I've even slightly done anything that was similar to her, which was like hang some Christmas lights in my entry that were like similar, which I didn't even
Christmas
see
light
hers
days.
at the time.
Oh my god, I remember that. You copied my Christmas.
Last year, Kourtney and I got into the most epic fight because she fully copied my lights. The guy called me and said, Kourtney showed me the video that you sent. That's a lie. Well, they told me that. That's 1,000% lie. Just makes me not want to have a big family because no one's original. I have warned everyone that I will come for them if they even dare try to copy anything that I'm doing this holiday season.
But there's no like sense of loyalty. It's almost like a greediness. I feel like we have it all, more than we could want or need.
So let me get this straight. I understand it's a weird situation because it's a wedding, like a personal life experience that is very sentimental that she's gonna remember for the rest of her life. And then it's like a business thing that's just gonna, you know, maybe you'll remember it for that year and then you're moving on, you're constantly moving on to other things. It's not like you're having weddings all the time. I mean, unless you're Kim, but in Kourtney's case, not so much. So I do understand that aspect of it.
I feel like
huge
I'd go
thing.
to like big extents to like have my own thing.
But this whole narrative of like, oh, well, you know, I try to have my own thing and like, you know, why does she have to copy me and like have your own thing? Like this whole needing to have their own things is very immature. Like, why can't you guys like the same things or do similar things? Like, you know, or be inspired by each other, or, you know, maybe it's just a coincidence in some situations. It's just like reminding me of when I was a child that like, you know, when you're a child, you don't want to like the same things as your siblings and you have that attitude. But like, there are women in their 40s and they still have this situation going on. It's very immature.
If I look at the photos from the fashion show, like half of the time I'm like, is this my wedding?
Why can't you say that to her?
Because I'm also like, it's who she is to her core.
But your wedding was also not a runway. Like, no one's gonna remember what your guests wore to your wedding. And why would you want them to? Wouldn't you want them to just remember what you wore? That's maybe the problem, is Kourtney, instead of focusing on the real reason she was having a wedding and the moment about it, she's just so focused on the fashion and the look, the style, the aesthetic, the vibes. Like, she's focused on the wrong things.
I think it's just that it's like a free-for-all, and it felt like there's no decency to like ask me how I felt about her doing this so closely to my wedding.
I get it. Look, I am trying to understand where Kourtney's coming from, but I do have to wonder, because she's saying she didn't feel supported, and then there was that other comment she made in a previous episode about how Kim wasn't happy at the wedding. Like, is this really just about the clothes and the fashion show happening close to her wedding with the same fashion designer brand? Or is it because of a certain feeling that Kourtney felt on her day from Kim? Like a vibe that she was getting from her, her attitude, the way she made her feel, the way she was acting that she can't quite put into words. So she's channeling all of that into this. Because, I don't know, it's just, my brain is like struggling to wrap its head around this going on for so long about something that is like so not important when it comes to the actual wedding of it all. Like, we're talking about all the different clothes that your guests wore. Like, is that really the most important thing about your day? Like, if she had copied one of her wedding outfits, one of her wedding dresses, because she had multiple wedding dresses, her reception dress, whatever, she had done that and put that on the runway, I wouldn't have this issue. I'd be 100% like, oh, I totally get where you're coming from. That's crazy. And I still do think that it makes sense that she could be upset about something, but just the way that she's blowing it up, I'm like, girl, this can't be all of it. There's obviously other issues going on. Maybe she was triggered because she has spent her whole life in the limelight being compared to Kim and being overshadowed by her. So I think that's what this really is, but she just keeps masking it with the conversation about the fashion clothes, and it's very reductive. Like, you need to get to like the root of the issue instead of looking at it at the superficial level. But you know, the Kardashians are pretty superficial, so it makes sense.
Let's just go with our options here. Have the talk soon. Have it in 6 months when you implode.
Yeah, it's gonna be
or
an
what?
imploding.
Yeah, like, this family is too close. They are too interlinked. I mean, you're literally filming a show together. You're basically co-workers. What are you gonna do? Just ignore her? You're gonna have to talk about it eventually, and like, the longer you take, it's gonna be more awkward.
I don't know.
With the amount of energy you're giving to him and I, why don't you just give to her and let this be done?
Because she's so intolerable to even have a conversation with that she's like on her phone the whole time.
Where's that coming from? Maybe she does that in her personal situations, but like off camera. But when we're watching the reality show and Kim's having a conversation that's like serious, she's not going to be on her phone. I haven't seen that happen, and I've watched the show with you guys. Like, I don't know, just to me, it seems like Kourtney's just got a lot of harbored resentment towards Kim, and she keeps making little jabs at her. And like, I'm not saying they're unwarranted. Like, siblings bicker, things fester, get really angry and nasty and stuff. But at this point in time, it's getting nasty. You know, we need to bring it down a notch. And I know we're gonna get some cooked stuff from Kim as well. Believe me, Kim's got a mouth on her. I mean, even when she was at the DMV, no one was talking about Kourtney, and she just had to make a jab at her, you know, with the whole thing about, oh yeah, the first photo's never good, the second's always the best, just like a child, meaning herself. So right there and then, like, she didn't need to do that. That's really petty. Ugh, it's too hard. I think I need to stop trying to pick a side. They're both shit.
It just makes me want to like run the other way. I just thought, what else could you take from me? Can I have anything that's mine?
What else has she taken from you? Does she really think she's copying everything about her? Oh, no, no, no.
Our family is so interconnected, and we always have been, but I think like for my survival,
So
I
dramatic.
need my own identity, and I need just my own life.
Then why did you want to do a reality show with her again? If you guys watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians, do you not remember by the end of the show how much fighting and bickering there was because Kourtney didn't want to do the show and Kim and Khloe were like, you're not pulling your weight? She really was against wanting to do the show and wanting to be on camera all the time, all this kind of stuff, wanting to be more private. And now she's back again doing it. It's because you want to fund your lifestyle. But then you say you want your separation and identity, but you're gonna be linked with her as long as you do the show. It just doesn't make sense. There's so many contradictions in what she's saying.
But it sounds like, yeah, the conversation needs to happen. And she was, on that phone call,
Kim
very apologetic.
Wants to make
She
it
was
She's
right
ready.
with you.
very up and down depending
she wants
on
to
her
make
mood.
it right with you.
That is true. 1 minute she's like, oh, I don't want to make Kourtney feel uncomfortable. I don't want to make her feel bad. Hope she's like, okay, I didn't mean to upset her. And then in another scene, she's like, oh, what friend? She doesn't have any friends. Oh, I'm the second best child. I'm the best. I'm like, what?
Guys.
Oh my god, I love getting to see Kim's house. I really wish we got like a house tour. It's like just so like weird.
Kim is going to be 42, but What I think about today is when I was 42. And honestly, that seems like yesterday.
Love making Kim's birthday about yourself.
We've built this amazing life for ourselves, and sometimes I feel like it can be a curse.
Yeah, well, I don't know, it's probably a bit late now.
Sometimes I feel like I've helped build something that can also be a burden. The haters.
Oh my god, am I one of the haters? No, I'm just kidding. I don't hate the Kardashians. Otherwise, I wouldn't spend so much time making videos about their show. I do enjoy them, but I enjoy them critically.
I feel bad that I've brought this element to our lives, and it's hard. It's a struggle, you know?
You shouldn't feel that way.
It weighs heavy on my heart.
Well, I suppose every time you send an invoice, you feel a bit better. Cashing that check. Sure, your mood goes up. In all reality, like, yeah, if you want to talk about it, but like actually talk about it, don't dance around it. I want to know, I want to see you crying on the kitchen floor eating a tub of Ben & Jerry's because the haters are really getting to you that day. Oh, that sounded dark. I just mean, like, you know, make us feel bad for you instead of just telling us to feel bad for you.
It could be really negative.
I think that this life that we live, as beautiful as it is, we get blamed for everything. Everything's our fault.
Are we not going to take any responsibility for our actions here? All the times that you guys have done insensitive things, you know, when you've been a culture vulture, when you have stolen ideas from other people, cultures, when you have, you know, potentially ruined people's relationships, people's careers, promoting shady products, scamming people, lying about what plastic surgery you get, feeding into insecurities. We're not going to take any responsibility for that? You don't have to say that everything's your fault, sure, but you can't just pretend like you've done nothing and that it's all, oh, woe is me. This is so PR as well. Like, the fact that she just showed up to her house, like, and then they just get straight into this conversation, like, was that the only reason she came?
Chloe's responsible for Tristan cheating and having or being, you know, and it's like, wait,
Or
what?
if he lost a basketball game.
Yeah.
No one said that. And if they did, they're stupid. I think what people were saying is that Chloe should have respected herself more so that she didn't get back together with a man who had a history of cheating. They're not saying like, oh, you made him cheat on you, blah, blah, blah. They're just saying like, okay, but how surprised can you be when he's shown you the type of person he is? When people show you who they are, believe them.
I get where my mom is coming from because this past year really has been wild for our family. But God makes no mistakes. All of this is happening for us for the lessons that we have to learn here on this planet.
If you guys have been watching my series, you know how I feel about the whole God thing. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut a little bit. You know, if you're religious and you believe that God does everything for a reason, blah, 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 like that's great. But it's a bit weird, isn't it? Like when they're like, why is this happening to me? Oh my God, this is horrible. And then when they're like out of it, they're like, oh, well, you know, God does everything for a reason. That's like, it's not God. That's you getting out of like a depression or like changing your mindset. But whatever helps you sleep at night.
When my kids are in pain, I'm in pain. And I never know what I'm going to wake up to.
I'm so proud of you every single day for the way that you live your life. I wish that everybody knew how beautiful and delicious your heart was.
Thank you.
You know what Kim should do? She should have a podcast and like bring people on and like interview them, talk about motherhood, prison reform, starting a brand, like, you know, like show people the type of person she wants. That's what I'm saying. Like the Kardashians need to understand you have to show people who you are. You can't tell them who you are. You can't just tell people like, I actually am nice. I have a good heart. I'm funny. Like you have to show people because you put on this bland performance or persona and like, you know, it just makes you feel like a product, not like a human being. So, God, they need to hire me. I could be like, first things first, I'm a realist. Like, I'm gonna make you seem like a human being. I could be their relatability coordinator, bringing real relatability back into the Kardashians. Oh, they would have to pay me a lot of money for that because that would be hard.
And they would never
You
say
live in
one
this
thing
guilt,
about you.
thinking like, I wish I didn't, you know, help all my kids get famous. You just can't live like that.
You live like that, you live with ghosts. Stream 1989 Taylor's version when it comes out.
Life is about hardships and how you get through them. And we know how to get through them. The Kardashians, like, we don't stoop to anyone's level.
Really? You don't stoop to anyone's level, Kim. What about when you started Snakegate? You forgive, you forget, but you never let it go. Enough with the Taylor references.
And we get through them together. Thank God we have each other. Thank God we have that support system.
Yeah.
That is what I base a lot of my sanity on.
It is good to have a supportive family.
I do.
Oh, this is cool. Whoa, that's a fire hazard. How are you supposed to see people's faces over that? With those amount of candles, they could be conducting a vismatoscribum nasix vira sequita sanguinum Bonnie Bennett spell. Speaking of Bonnie Bennett, have you guys seen my Vampire Diaries Season 2 Part 2 deep dive and recap? Check it out.
I am hosting Kimberly's birthday dinner.
Do you think Kourtney's gonna show up, guys? I don't think she is. Oh, she did! Wait, this is progress. Kourtney came to Kim's birthday party. I have to think every time I say one of their names to make sure I'm saying the right one.
Today is Kim's birthday, and no matter what's going on between us, you know, we always show up for each other. Of course, I'm going to celebrate my sister.
You know what, Kourtney? As much as I ragged on you in the beginning, I'm gonna give you your flowers, because not everyone would do that if they were beefing with a family member or a friend. Not everyone would show up to their birthday, so I think that is very mature of her. So, I need to stop doing that. It just looks like so fun. You know what, I'm really happy that all of them are there, because it's not often that they have the entire family there. Well, excluding Rob, but when is he ever? I love her hyping Chloe up. That's so cute. Yes! I love this. It better not be Dolce though.
Happy birthday, Vic.
I want to see her go up to Kourtney.
Your own party? Birthday girls here an hour late. Let's sit down. From a basketball game. I had to. Tracy was at the same game and she's here.
I love that. I love Chloe. She's really back in her Chloe mojo. She was so boring last season, but this season she has been my favorite. You know what? I feel bad for calling her boring. Like, her partner cheated on her and got another woman pregnant while he had manipulated her into going through with IVF and getting a surrogate pregnant with their child. So she deserved to have a moment, but she's got her mojo back. She got it from Massimo.
So I just want to say before I have another martini, you're the strongest woman in the world. We all look up to you. You're a superpower, and you are pretty much now, at this point, the leader of our family. You're like the person we all go to when, huh? What? No.
Oh, did you see Kourtney's eyes in that moment? Roll back the tape. Let's freeze frame everyone's face.
You are pretty much now, at this point, the leader of our family.
Okay, so Kim was like, so she's like, oh God, Mom, I didn't think you were going to say that. Please, not in front of everyone. Like, I know it's true, but like, let's not get the beef anymore.
You're like the person we all go to when...
Okay, and then Kourtney did a little... and then looked at Travis. I'm like a body language expert. So Kourtney's thinking like, well, there it is. She thinks she's the head honcho. Mom thinks it too.
She's magic.
Hey, I don't have time to take on those duties. I'm so honored, but I'm not ready for you to pass the baton.
You don't see Kim as the leader of the family.
I mean, if she wants to be, you know, it's not a cult that I'm following.
Yeah, true. Like, it's weird for... See, this is the thing about Chris. Like, she puts her manager thing sometimes before the mom thing, which I guess is why she's the momager. But to say that in front of your other children is weird, especially when Kim is not even the oldest. Like, imagine how Kourtney's gonna feel about it. So I do get why Kourtney feels the way that she does. And she has a weird relationship with her mother, which is totally understandable if you have watched Keeping Up. But it's just such a weird, bizarre thing to say. Like, why would one sibling be in charge of the rest? Weird thing to say. Weird thing to say. Because, like, if Chris retires, why would Kim want to just all of a sudden manage all of herself and all of her siblings? Like, why would she want to do that? And why would they let her do that? I don't know. This is weird. I'm pretty excited. Well, no, I don't know if excited is the right word. Curious, interested to see the next generation of Kardashians, like all of their kids, like see what businesses they start, what happens with them. Are we going to get a reality show with them? Like, is this dynasty, this family going to just keep going on and on and on?
Kourtney's on her best behavior. Of course, they're not going to duke it out here. Like, please. There's no tension like that anyone else would notice. I would just like try to stare at Court, but like subtly, like, is she okay?
I would be doing the same thing.
Tell you that thank you for choosing me to be your mommy.
I don't think she chose you to be her mother. Like, you are her mother. What a weird thing to say. I think she's had too many martinis.
You handle all of us. You handle your kids.
Just keeps going on and on and on.
I tell you this. I say to you, I don't think I could have done, and I don't know what more I can say, but you know,
Mom, this speech is so amazing. I love you.
Shut up! I'm almost done.
I love Chloe.
Where's the hook?
I don't need a hook.
Get her.
So funny, because like that's for reals. It's just too much, Chris. Please. Chris loves her speeches.
You have had the year from hell, and I'm proud of you.
Reel it in. You were not almost done.
That's what I want to say.
Happy birthday to Kimberly. Cheers, everyone.
I love you guys.
Okay, but I want to see her talk to Kourtney. Did they just not talk to each other this entire party?
I feel like this is my year.
All Alrighty, so guys, that is the end of season 3, episode 6. The tension is brewing, and it did brew. Now I needed to bust. So we are gonna get into season 3, episode 7, titled Deeper Than Dolce, where obviously by the title, I'm assuming Kim and Kourtney are gonna finally talk it out. So let's get into it. Oh my god. Are we about to get straight into it? Yes, I think we are, guys. They're playing the serious music.
Hi. Hi. So tonight, Kourtney and I are finally going to talk about Dolce and Gabbana.
Oh, finally.
This all started when they wanted to do something with Skims. Called you and I said Skims is not doing it. We couldn't get it together that quickly.
I really want like a timeline. I want to know how long it's been that they've just not ignored this situation.
So I kept on saying, I don't want to do this because it's way too close to Kourtney's wedding. I want it to be completely different. I want it to be such a different thing. If we can't get the Skims element in time, why are we even doing this?
Okay, if she said that, then she's gonna have a really good reason as to why she went through with it then. Because if she was saying the only reason she was doing it was because it was a Skims collab, why else would we do it? Let's hear what the reason is. What was that reason?
Then they said to me, we're going ahead with a show of our archives. We would love to do it with you, but we're doing it anyway. You can either creative direct it or not.
Okay, so they were just like kind of tacking her onto it. They were going to do it regardless. So if Kim didn't get involved to be the creative director, would Kourtney still have been upset? Probably not, I would assume, right? Because remember in the 2 episodes back, she's like, they're a brand, I can't be upset with them. Even though they're family friends and you spend every summer in Portofino with Domenico living your Dolce de Vita life.
I remember calling you saying, hey, Skims isn't gonna do it. I'm still gonna do it. Do you wanna come? You weren't like, hey, I'd love to know how you feel about this. You called after the deal was done and to tell me and give me a heads up.
Okay, so Kim didn't actually wait to see if it was okay with Kourtney before she went through with it. That changes things. That really does change things.
Because it was my wedding, it really wasn't business for me. It was such a special day. I feel like it takes away from the specialness.
It's not looking good, Kimmy.
It feels awful that my sister used my wedding as a business opportunity. She chose the money over me. That's why she never truly asked me.
So did they link up at the wedding? Is that how they connected? Because I did kind of think that, especially because when she was talking to the people when they were prepping for the fashion show, she was like, yeah, they saw all of my looks that I wore for Kourtney's wedding. I had my vintage Dolce and Gabbana pieces that they were surprised they even had, and then they wanted to work with me. So it's like, do you think in the back of her mind she was thinking like, oh, if I wear all of these, maybe that, you know, I can impress them and they might want to work with me? Because after Kim's divorce with Kanye, where he was helping her with her fashion and making a lot of her decisions, we did see her talk a lot in the show about how she wanted to get more in the fashion industry. So that would be real sneaky.
It's not that she forgot to ask me or thought that I wouldn't care. I think that she wouldn't have known what to do if my answer was no.
Yes. I think I'm starting to understand where Kourtney's coming from. It's like a respect thing. It's the fact that she didn't actually ask her. She just gave her a heads up. And the reason she didn't is because if she said no, what would she do? Because she wanted to go through with it regardless. I see what she's saying.
Kylie was doing a campaign before I was, and so I'm like, wait a minute, so that's cool? And it's not cool, but to me that's more like mom. I don't really expect Kylie to call me because I think she's like in Kylie's world or whatever.
Okay, just when you had me, you're losing me, Kourtney. So Kylie did a deal or something with Dolce and Gabbana. What it was, we don't know because they barely have Kylie on the show. But you're going to be upset with Kim, but not upset at Kylie because Kylie's in her own world. But why can't Kim be in her own world? That's weird.
My mom did the same deal for Kylie, not to creative direct, but like to be in a campaign. Why wasn't that a topic of conversation? It's something with me, and I cannot figure out fully what it is.
It's the competition, Kim. It's the fact that you guys are so close in age. Like, how is she not seeing that? You guys have always had that competitive nature together. Maybe she's forgotten about it because she's been on top for so long, but Kourtney still harbors that resentment, clearly.
Conversations were starting from my wedding, and obviously, it started at their fashion show. Mom FaceTimed me, and they said, we want to do a book with you, and we want you to do creative direct our fashion show. So they had that idea.
So that was before the wedding. Why is Kourtney so stuck on running with this narrative then? So much communication issues. Do they just like not talk to each other?
When I chose our designer for the wedding, which there was like other options, but that one felt really authentic to me because we go there every summer for 5 years.
Every summer for Portofino. That's the running joke. I love it. She commits.
The life that I live, living La Dolce Vita.
Living La Dolce Vita. This is too good. Am I like psychic or are they just that predictable?
With ice creams and paparazzi and all the things that was like eventually your campaign.
Wait. Let me brace myself. So now Kim's not allowed to do something that has to do with ice cream and paparazzi because that's what Kourtney did in Portofino. Guys, I'm trying. Because I know there were like a lot of you defending Kourtney and like I can see where you're coming from, but like I try and she almost gets me and then she says something that is so bizarre that I lose it. And Kim clearly looks like she's losing it too in this deep breath. Let's take one together.
I got married in Italy. Am I saying you copied me by getting married in Italy? Who performed at my wedding? Andrea Bocelli. Who performed at Kourtney's wedding? Andrea Bocelli. You stole my wedding country and my wedding performer, but I'm copying her Dolce Vita lifestyle, okay?
Okay, I thought she was joking at first to point out how ridiculous Kourtney was being, but now it seems like she's being serious. Like she's harboring that resentment, but just chose not to bring it up, and now is the time to bring it up because she's accusing her of copying her. Oh my god, guys, this is so crazy. Do you guys have these issues with your siblings, or is this like a rich and famous person problem? Like, I don't, who's accusing their siblings of copying each other? That's so weird.
With like all due respect, everyone thought it was so sponsored and they thought it was
wasn't.
like a
Kim, yeah, see, this is why I ride. I have to ride because, like, she's literally just saying what we're all thinking. She's not beating around the bush. It literally looked like a brand deal. And she's like, oh, look, it's my wedding. This wasn't a business deal. It looked like a business deal. How are you gonna have everyone wearing the exact same designer? That means those people don't even get to have full control of what they get to wear.
I didn't make that choice for my wedding because of money. What they presented to me was new Dolce. I was like, I need all the 90s archives looks. Like, that's what I need for my wedding. Gothic-y, a little more romantic, Italian. I pulled like all Monica Bellucci. It was like my mood board. Yeah. When we went to Milan for our first fittings, Danny spent 2 days with Dolce's whole team insisting on like, no, everything on Vogue.com I want before anything on Vogue.com. I want like 90s archive.
Okay. But Kim has already said that regardless of whether or not she was going to be involved, the Dolce & Gabbana team was going to do the 90s vintage runway show anyway.
Danielle and I made a PDF in 2017. They flew in town and made me 3 archive looks, all with the crystals. I wore the white one to the Celine Dion concert, and they were like, we had never done our archives, blah, blah, blah. They hadn't done them since until your wedding. When we go to your wedding, a lot of the looks, like this gray pants and top, were my own, that we had just had in my archive from collecting it from over time.
Yeah, like, why can't they both have a relationship with Dolce & Gabbana? Like, why, like, Kourtney now owns that brand? Like, that's her brand? Like, I guess what Kim's trying to say is, like, but prior to your wedding, I was already wearing archival Dolce pieces. God, this is such a tough decision. I'm currently back on Kim's side. Like, she's making more sense.
When we got to doing the show, I obviously had never seen your mood board, but in all fairness,
But I think it's just the way it went down. I get these details. None of these details, it doesn't matter.
Okay, but see, that's really dismissive. Like, Kim hasn't said to Kourtney that what she's saying doesn't matter, that's not important. But why is she saying to Kim when she's explaining herself, that doesn't matter, that's not important? When she's speaking about her experience and, like, her defense, you know? If you want to put something on her, why is she not allowed to explain herself? Do you want her to just sit there in silence so you can just say how you feel? Is she not going to say? I don't like that.
But there's only so many looks in the 90s.
I think they clearly did the 90s after my wedding of me insisting.
I need to know if Dolce, when they were planning the fashion show before Kourtney's wedding, were they planning to make it be a 90s archive? Because if they were, everything she's saying is null and void. But if they weren't, she might have a point. Details, ladies.
The biggest thing is, like, no one called me to say, how do you feel about this? But beyond that, it's my wedding.
I'm really confused how this narrative just literally came into her head.
You and me both.
But if you saw my intention, they literally tried to have like black veils. They wanted the Madonna look because they wanted their iconic things. Even though I had worn that look already, I was like, that's Kourtney's wedding. And they were like, no, this is Dolce.
And all
like,
the photos.
No, it belongs to her wedding, guys. It doesn't belong to Dolce anymore. It all belongs to Kourtney. Like, they removed a lot of the items. Come on, stop making sense, please. You're losing me. Stop. You're losing me.
I look at the photos, I'm like, is this my wedding? It's fine, it's a classic Italian vibes, but the point is, it's like that was the look of my wedding.
I think that
legit looks
really
the
different.
same. Feeling and the outfits and the everything.
Where's the solution at this point? I feel like Kourtney just wants Kim to admit defeat. Like, she's not really listening to what she's saying.
I mean, there's only so many Italian
Right.
things.
That's what I'm saying. I'm happy to move on to the next and be done.
I would be upset. I
Yeah.
get it. I
So,
feel
like,
you.
yes,
I would be
there's
upset.
two parts.
See how she validates her feelings? Unlike when Kourtney before was like, none of that matters. Kim's handling this pretty well, which is good because everybody was so freaked that she was gonna like blow up.
Because it's one part is me just wanting my own shit and my own identity.
But you definitely have your own identity. No one's trying to like
But it's
rock
like
out.
when
The gothic rock art thing. Travis! Oh my god, yeah, Travis Barker's no longer the most famous Travis. I don't think he was anyway, but everyone's all up in Travis Kelce now. He's dethroned the Travis Barker and Travis Scott.
But it's not that. That's not even my identity.
What is it then?
I think it's just like a need to be an individual.
You know, Kourtney really is starting to sound more and more like an angsty teenager. Like, I want to be an individual, I want to be unique. Like, it's like giving... Oh... It's not giving pick me, but it's giving like, I'm such a contrarian, I'm so different, like nobody gets me, like, oh, I'm so weird, like have you ever seen me without this hat? That's weird, I'm a weirdo, I don't fit in. Like, that's what it's giving, and it's really cringing me out.
When I do have things that are mine, I get protective over what feels like it's part of me.
We're talking about clothing. She's acting like she made the freaking clothes.
I think also being curious for yourself about like why do you need that? Is it deeper than just the money? You like want to like learn about yourself. I think it's like
why would I want to do it?
That's just not fair. She's like trying to plant doubt in Kim and make her question why she's doing what she's doing. It almost seems a little bit like saboteur. Like, if she's thinking, oh, you know, she's just always hustling, making money, connection, blah, 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 like, why is she really doing it? Like, some people are just business people. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure Kim has, well, we know of some shady things that she's done. Maybe she does, I mean, we haven't heard anything too crazy about, like, we haven't heard any complaints about her employees and stuff, but, like, I'm not trying to say she's a saint. But, like, some people just are business people. Some people love to build businesses and make money and work. Like, Kim, as much as I made fun of her previously, she spoke a lot about how she's a workaholic. Like, that is her thing. Like, yes, she has 4 children, and yes, Kourtney has 3 children and 1 on the way, but Kourtney invests more time into, like, her being a mother. Like, that was very important to her if we watch Keeping Up and stuff. And while Kim has her children, and obviously they are important to her and stuff, a big passion of hers is still business. So I don't know why you need to make her feel bad for that. Like, you know, I would understand what she was saying if Kim had done something incredibly messed up to try and make more money and stuff, but this situation, I just am, like, struggling to see exactly how far she's willing to go with this, especially just saying something like that. It seems like you're saying, without actually saying, like, the subtext of what you're saying is, you're greedy. All you care about is money. I mean, she has said this behind Kim's back, so we know the subtext.
I thought, like, to challenge myself.
It's not just the money, it's so much more than that. And if you don't know who I am to know that about me, like, your loss.
Oh my god, Kim, girl, you should be my friend, because, like, I get you. Like, didn't I just explain what you summarized?
I never thought that I could really do anything on my own, and I was okay with that. I was more like the doll that loved to get dressed up. So when I agreed to do this, I was like, okay, this is a challenge for me. And that was my lesson, and have my own opinion and speak up for myself. And
that's what's really sad about this situation is, you know, I'll say that to Kourtney, like, your feelings are valid. Like, if you feel like your wedding was copied or stolen or whatever, even though there's a lot more to a wedding than clothing, and like you said, it isn't a business deal. This was like a really important moment for Kim, and you can tell how special it was to her, and it sucks that she just can't, like, be really happy about it and, like, proud of it and have her family support her. She has to, like, now deal with this. Like, I feel like Kourtney, yes, she could have expressed her feelings, but the way that she is, like, dragged on the situation, and, like, there's no congratulations, there's no I'm proud of you, there's no understanding why she did it. It's just like, you're greedy, you want money, you copy me, I can't have my own thing. It's like, take one moment to step out of your shoes and step into hers and see maybe why she did what she did. Especially because Kim does do that. She said to Kourtney, like, I understand why you'd feel that way about your wedding, that's not what I wanted to do, that's why I made them not use these specific pieces. Like, where's the roadblock? And I feel like I'm just psychoanalyzing this just a tad too much. Sorry, guys.
but it was like a huge challenge where I was
No,
like
but I
crying
think I
inside.
mean on a deeper level, why, what is it about yourself? And this is just a like food for thought for later in life or whatever.
Yeah, planting a seed of doubt is what you're doing. I see you. I know people. I've experienced people like Kourtney. It's quite toxic.
But like, what is it about yourself that you have to like have like everything? Like you can't like stop. I think it's
not the
like
material for me.
proving that you can. I think it is financial.
Also, how are you gonna tell someone how they feel? Like they're telling you how they feel and you're like, no, this is how you feel. I think this is how you feel. What's the term for that? Oh yeah, gaslighting.
Like whatever it is at the moment that feels like that's the accomplishment or that that's for like the prize or whatever. People are driven by certain reasons and they make you great. But there's also something about being able to be content and happy with like what you have and not feel like you need more.
So what do you want her to do? Do you want her to just stop? Just stop working? Just have what she has and then call it quits? Like, Kourtney, not everyone just wants to like chill. Like, some people want to get up and work. Just because you only now started your business in your 40s and are like content and want to stop doesn't mean everyone else does.
The last thing I want to do is for you to think that I'm like coming for you.
I just feel like there's this underlying weirdness that's not spoken because of, you know, this.
A lot of that is on Kourtney. Like, she hasn't wanted to speak about it. She was just content with not speaking about it and wanting to move on, brush it under the rug. So take responsibility. I'm getting really frustrated, guys. I think I'm like just a tad triggered by her behavior.
But I don't know if it's just this is what we're saying. It's been like this since we literally fought in that Chloe's old house.
Oh my god, I referenced that in my last video, guys. Remember when they had that big fight in Chloe's house where it got real physical, slapping, punching, scratching? That was a few years ago now, damn.
I think it started there.
But then I think it was all good because it was like,
But then you had been in Travis land.
What's this thing about Travis had been into Kim in the past, like he had a crush on her? I'm seeing that online. Editing me is gonna research that. So 15 years ago, before they started dating, Kourtney and Travis met through Kim's work with Paris Hilton. It was the year 2006, and Travis Barker was dating Paris Hilton, who Kim was working for, remember, as a closet organizer. In his 2015 memoir, Travis reflected on his time in his life, specifically recalling a trip to Amsterdam in 2006 with Kim, Paris, and his friends. And I had a crush on her and we were flirtatious, but nothing ever actually happened. They like went on a few dates, he was kind of into her, but they never actually slept together, which is good, obviously, considering, you know, he moved into Kourtney's neighborhood, next door neighbor, 2017. Now they're married, and the rest is history.
yeah, I'm down to like do more. I think I just like want to run when things like that happen. I used to be mad or mean when I was hurt, but now I feel like I avoid, like I just don't really want to be around.
Attachment style. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there is something to be said about like giving time for the dust to settle. Like you don't want to like talk about an issue if you're fighting with your siblings, because sibling relationships, they're a very complex relationship. If you have siblings, you know, and I find it's best to give time for the dust to settle, you know, so that everyone can calm down, so you're not still speaking out of a place of anger, and you can also look at things with hindsight. Hindsight is 20/20. And then that way, whenever that is the way that I approach things, I find that's when me and whatever sibling I'm having an issue with talking to, that's when we can come together and actually talk about the issue and understand each other's perspective, and then people actually apologize. You know, it's kind of like when you have a fight with someone and you go to talk about it after however long, and you're both like, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry, no, yeah, I'm sorry, and like you're just both apologizing because you both realize what you did wrong in that situation. But at the same time, if you are just like festering in your anger and avoiding it for too long, creates that awkwardness, that weirdness that just makes you want to run because it's too hard to deal with it. Oh my god, am I like therapizing the Kardashians here? They need it.
And I have such a fulfilling life without it.
If you have such a fulfilling life without your family, get off the reality show, Kourtney. I'm gonna be honest, we don't need you. In fact, we don't even need Kourtney and Kylie. At this point, we could just have a reality show about Kris, Kim, and Khloe, because they're the only entertaining ones.
There's nothing else that I could say, but I totally understand. I hear you. I'm sorry that my choices put us in this situation. I'm happy for the experience, but I'm sad and sorry that that experience hurt you, because that's not what I would ever want to do.
Kimberly Noel Kardashian. That was beautiful. That is how you do an apology. She really covered all her bases there. She took responsibility. She acknowledged Kourtney's feelings. I'm a little touched. She handled that a lot better than I thought she would, if I'm being honest. Let's see how Kourtney responds.
Thank you for apologizing and acknowledging it.
You're welcome. All right, I gotta go. Okay.
That's it? That's all Kourtney said. You can tell Kim was a little disappointed. Doesn't seem like Kourtney's over it yet. She wasn't even like, okay, I appreciate that. I understand why you did what you did. Like, I'm proud of your achievements. Like, you know, I'm sorry if I possibly negatively affected your experience, but I just was really upset about this because it was like a really special day to me, and I felt like there was a communication error. Maybe going forward, you could speak to me before you do something that is going to affect me. You know what I mean? Maybe she just wasn't ready for this conversation. Maybe Chloe and the producers and even Kim pushed this conversation on her too soon. Maybe she needed more time to sit with it. But then also, they could have those yes men around them. I love how after that really serious conversation, she just goes back to getting her nails done.
All right.
I'll see you tomorrow. Peace at your house.
Okay.
And
I love you.
She has her bag. I love you. And I'll see you in Palm Springs.
Perfect.
Wow, that was heavy. I'm tired. How long was that scene? That was 15 minutes. That's a long time. Okay, well, at least they can move forward, but I know for a fact that something's gonna come up again. It doesn't feel fully resolved. And I was spoiled on Twitter and TikTok. It was everywhere. I know they have another fight in the first episode of season 4, so. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna cut it here. That is the end of my reaction to episode 6, season 3 of the Kardashians, and a bit of episode 7. I did film more, which is already up on my Patreon, but I decided to stop here because this kind of wraps up the Kourtney and Kim Dolce and Gabbana wedding drama extravaganza, and the rest of the season kind of goes more into discussing Kim's divorce with Kanye and, you know, Kylie's beauty standard stuff. I don't really know, but either way, it's another topic, and this video is already long enough, so we'll save that for the next video. And thank you once again to Colin Broom for sponsoring this video, guys. Make sure you click the link in my description and use code Luke10 if you want to get into their limited sale. Thank you, Colin Broom, and let's go back to Past Me for the outro. Alrighty guys, so that is it for this reaction and commentary. Seems like we have resolved this Dolce and Gabbana situation, and I hope that you guys had a good time watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below your thoughts. I would love to know. Instead of Team Kim or Team Kourtney, what are your general thoughts on the resolution? Do you think it was done well? Do you think that they probably need to go to group therapy? And yeah, if you have not already, please subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so you don't miss another upload from me. All my social media is linked down below, and shout out to my patrons. Shout out to my Curious Cat and Queen Bee patrons, and a special shout out to my Butterfly Bestie patrons, Anne, Ashlyn, Audrey B, Emily, Hannah, Holly, Justice, Kayla, Kayleen, Misty, Renee, Somerset, and Tracy. And thank you all for your support. And yeah, guys, that's it for me in this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you in my next one, and as always, I hope that you have a great day or night wherever you're in the world. Bye!